So this is what it looks like with just using clay targets as the aiming point. Remember, clay targets are like 4 inches, and I do not have the most optimal airsoft gun because it doesn't have a hop up, and accuracy is very poor, not including that it's 6 millimeters and it's going to be deterred by the wind. But this is the belt that I use. This is the belt I got it 2 years ago. It's a setup for IDPA, of course, with the holster for an MMP. And this is the MMP 40 Airsoft, all plastic, so kind of very quirky. This one is probably 3 years old, still working now, a couple thousand rounds. The stage setup that you see is pendulum. Okay, and that's the calculations. Okay, they're actually 4 feet apart, uh, not 3 feet apart like I did here. But the distance is 27 feet and 15 feet for the stop plate, which is the, you know, square gong. I'm gonna probably modify it and make the targets probably about the same size as the gong, which is about 10 inches, I think. Uh, and yeah, that's basically. Ha! You saw that here. That is the CO2 just bursting because of the heat inside. Here it caused expansion, and I just lost a CO2 canister for leaving it outside of the heat. Here's a shot timer. I don't know if you can catch that. Probably not. It's a shot timer app. Big blue button right here. This is start the time, and it will pick up the airsoft pistol because I've been using the steel plate to do my draw drills with it. Hopefully my airsoft gun isn't busted for leaving it outside in the sun and it getting heated up. If it is, then oh well, that would end the video for today. So this is going to be a short one since I have to address that CO2 canister issue. And let's see. Well, I'm off to build targets alone because my boy doesn't want to build targets with me because he's too comfortable on the bed. Darn. No, I'm not getting it. So obviously the airsoft pistol looks like it's going to work, but because the target is too small, the clay targets are just 4 inches, and the airsoft pistol I have is not that accurate. Not saying that I'm not accurate either, but I have to work on designing a better target that I know that I can hit, which is similar to that square, which is 10 inches big. But I'm not gonna make it that way. I'm gonna make it slightly bigger, and I'm gonna try to make it with bullet trap layers on it, so that way I can put a paper target in front of it of the right size to see how far off I am when I'm aiming versus the trigger pull and the direction of the round itself. That should help me get a better understanding. And all this has to be basically set up before I invest in anything else for the airsoft gun. Now, my current list, as you probably saw on my story page, is of about $900 in airsoft only. That's the dream list, okay? That's not anywhere where I could afford. To the most part, just getting one airsoft pistol with a couple CO2 canisters by itself would be $200. And that seems like that's a lot of work by itself to invest into that right now. So perfecting the targets right now would be the best option, and hopefully my airsoft pistol, which is the M&P 40, still works, that I can utilize for this, so I can get all the basics and all the ideas together for this backyard shooting. Obviously, leaving the gun outside in the heat for 10 minutes was not a good idea. All right, till the next video, till the next time. Hold on. Took me a little bit of planning, a little bit of resting, but I finally figured out what to use for the targets. Piece of Lexan, 4 of them would make excellent backstops of the right size, so that way I can just stick a circle there or stick the rectangular there, whatever size, and if I hit it, I hit it, or if I spray it, or even use shoe polish, which would rub off, it should work. Initially I was gonna just drive a screw through it to attach it to these, but then I thought about, you know, the moving around and everything, and I figured they might break, so I'm just gonna cut pieces of paracord and tie them on there for now. They are going to be a little bit lower from where I want them to be, because I really want them to be at the height on the poles of where they should be normally at the full-size steel challenge, because that changes the amount of time from you acquiring the target. That height difference will affect you. So I think that's important for me to go from my draw to on target. I want it to be as close as possible. That's why I decided to do half the distance and half the size of the targets, to be as close as I could as actually shooting real bullets. This took like the entire day for me to just finally get up and go to the garage after the pistol ruptured the CO2 canister. So then well, at least I'll have these done soon. Let's see how all this works out.